On my walk this morning, I saw 4 squirrels all run up into the same tree. They having a party or something? Now, Chronicle and Project Almanac aren't connected in any way other than general structure and being a pretty accurate depiction of what teenagers would do if they got superpowers or a time machine. But I ended up watching both of these movies back to back the other day, and it ended up being really fun. So I highly recommend you watch these as a double feature if you haven't seen them before, or if you're looking to revisit them. But we're going to be talking about them today. Huge, huge spoiler alert for both movies. You've been warned. Chronicle tells the story of 3 teenagers who stumble across a glowing rock in a cave, and then after that they get superpowers. The first half of the movie is them just kind of dicking around with their powers, pulling pranks. It's a lot of fun. And then the second half is just a whole lot of, oh damn. The main trio is amazing. They have great chemistry with each other. They really feel like a real group of friends. A lot of the dialogue feels very natural and improvised. Makes the whole disastrous conclusion of the friendship feel a little bit sadder, but you know, that's just good storytelling. Andrew is technically the main character. We do start from his point of view, so he's a very tragic character to follow. He's the struggler, I'd say. His dad is an abusive drunk. His mom is sick. He's got more bullies than friends. He actually kind of has no friends. And he's not just getting bullied by his classmates. He's getting bullied by his neighbors. What the fuck? He's not having a good day. Like, ever. He does sort of have one friend, though, Matt. But they're only really friends because Matt is his cousin. Matt is an interesting character. Mostly because he thinks he's a lot deeper than he is. He spouts off all this philosophical bullshit, you know, but he's really, out of everyone, he's the most normal dude, which is good, you know, because when shit goes down, he does the right thing. You know, he's not perfect, but he's always trying to help people when help is needed, all right? And he's kind of like the secret protagonist of this, you know. He ends up kind of becoming the real hero. So I like that he's just normal. Okay, we need a normal guy because Andrew's not very. And then lastly, we got Steve. Oh my God, it's Michael B. Jordan. Steve is just the best. All right, Steve is just, he's so chill. All right, we've all met a Steve. Steve is just this super popular dude who could care less about being popular. You can tell he's just happy to have friends who actually like him for him. And his one-on-one friendship with Andrew was really interesting because, I mean, if we were to, stay with me now, if we were to look at the high school food chain, Steve is right here at the top and Andrew is, he's at the bottom, okay? But despite that, they are able to bond, and they bond over something every high schooler bonds over, which is problems at home. The first half where they discover and they're messing around with their powers is a lot of fun, but things get dark pretty quickly when there's a car like tailgating them and Andrew just him off the road. Alright, almost kills the guy, okay? Steve and Matt are pretty pissed, and the worst part is that Andrew does not really care or think what he did is wrong, okay? Bro thinks he's Oliver, okay? But as you can tell, he's not purple, so he's kind of worse. Things settle down for like 10 minutes, and then everything just goes to shit, okay? Andrew finally steps up to his dad. You know, he's like, Dad, I could kill you, okay? So back up. After this, he's up chilling in the sky, you know, because if you could fly, I mean, you're going to think up in the clouds all the time, okay? And then Steve, shout out to Steve, best character, he pulls up, trying to be Andrew's friend. Andrew responds by shooting his ass out the sky with some lightning. Now, they can't create lightning, okay? They were in the middle of a lightning storm, and he just kind of, there was a lightning bolt coming down, and he said, why don't you go 2 notches that way, and hit Steve. It was an accident, but Steve's dead, so I don't really care, accident or not. Steve really was the heart and soul of the group. I mean, he was up there to check on Andrew just because he knew what happened with his dad. You know, he was up there to be a good friend, and he died, okay? And with his death, the movie just keeps getting darker and darker. and more awesome. After this, Andrew is... He's not real. He's off the deep end, okay? He rips out his bully's tooth right in front of everyone, okay? Crushes a car, rips off the legs of a spider, develops a god complex. Like, okay, we all did these things in high school, but seeing them back to back like this, kind of, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Matt, this entire time, he can smell the crash out from a mile away. But he's busy, because he got a girlfriend, okay? Good for you, Matt. Let's put our hands together for him. The story comes to a head when Andrew dons a firefighter's uniform. His dad's a firefighter, so it's not out of the realm for him to just have that, okay? He puts on a firefighter uniform, okay? Does his best Makima impression on his neighbors. Unsuccessfully robs a gas station to get money for his mother's medicine and lands in the hospital. Andrew, come on, what are you doing? Okay, you have superpowers here, and you really let this guy... I don't condone robbery, okay? I don't condone crime. But how did he mess this up? This is sad. This is pathetic. You kind of deserve to get No, I don't condone bullying, okay? I don't condone crime or bullying, okay? But Andrew, you kind of let me down here, all right? So Andrew's in the hospital, okay, and his dad comes to visit him. And his dad tells him that his mom has died, all right? And he blames Andrew for it, because if there's one thing an alcoholic parent's going to do, they're going to find a way to blame their kid for something, okay? Andrew wakes up just in time and tries to kill his father, but Matt pulls up just in time to save him, okay? It's here where the movie gets cranked up to an 11. I don't know what people's consensus on this final fight is, but I love it. Andrew starts things off by going, "Yeah, Matt, I'm a Sigma alpha male," and parks a bus right up Matt's ass, okay? After that, it's straight telekinetic hands and cars being thrown. They are duking it out through the streets of Seattle, and it's fucking hype. It's so fucking hype. Eventually, the police surround the pair, and things are not looking good, okay? Andrew, he's so far off the deep end. He is a victim of the dark side. Okay, no Star Wars references here, okay? And Matt is looking around. He's seeing all these innocent people being hurt, okay? The police, bystanders, and he's pleading, "Andrew, don't do it, man. Don't make me do this." But Andrew's like, "I can't fucking hear you, okay?" And so then Matt's like, "Let me get your attention." Fucking whoop. All right. Spears him right through the back. Killing him. It's terrible. It's just terrible. I mean, this scene is really sad, you know. Matt really did come to love Andrew, okay? And, I mean, he saw what he was going through, and he tried his best to help him, but he was just too far gone. And especially seeing all these people getting hurt and stuff, he's had to make the tough call. He had to make the tough call, and it was sad to watch. It was some sad shit, okay? The movie ends with Matt recording a final video in Tibet. Now, Tibet was a place that they all talked about visiting. Once they all discovered that they could fly, they're like, "Let's go fly to all these random places." And Andrew's like, "I really want to go to Tibet. That shit's hype." Okay, so Matt pulls up there, says some nice words, says he's going to go find the origin of their powers, and then flies off. And that's Chronicle. Now, since it's released, there's been rumors about a sequel, but from what I was looking at, I couldn't really find anything concrete, so I don't think it's happening. And I don't think it should happen, because, like, I think this movie's kind of perfect the way it is. I like that we don't know where the rock came from. Like, that was, like, the last thing I was thinking about. So I feel like a sequel would just try to explain that, and we don't need that. We don't need that, okay? The only other thing I could see is that apparently they want to do a female-led sequel, which... also, we don't really need that, but I couldn't find much from that other than just reports and stuff, so I don't think that's coming either. Leave it as it is, because it's great. It's great. It's really good. It's just got that perfect blend of relatable teen angst and relatable beefing with the homies on a colossal level. I think the found footage angle really works, you know, it just really helps with the story. Love the characters, love the performance. Overall, it's just a great time, you know. Now, on to Project Almanac. Project Almanac tells the story of a super duper smart guy named David and his group of friends who build a time machine after discovering blueprints for one in the basement, okay? The blueprints belonged to David's father, who died on his 7th birthday, RIP. David's father was an inventor, so it's not completely out of left field for him to have time travel blueprints just Jay chilling in the basement. Before they discover the blueprints, though, David just got into MIT. A round of applause for him, okay? But he also gets slapped in the face with the reality of not having money. So he's trying to get money for college. And him and his sister are also trying to get money to save the house, because Mom's is struggling. Just a classic dilemma. Everyone out there is working to pay for school and their family's home. You are incredible, okay? You are an inspiration to all, even if you don't know it. Keep your head up. The whole reason they even find the machine is because they find an old camcorder documenting David's 7th birthday. And in the footage, they not only see a 7-year-old David, but also... is that current age David in the mirror? What the fuck? So after combining an Xbox 360 and some stolen hydrogen, they're able to successfully build the machine. They fuel their first attempt using Jesse's Prius, okay? Now, who's Jessie? Jessie is the girl that David is down bad over. Understandably. It causes a massive blackout in the neighborhood, but it does work, and they're able to send a toy car back like a minute. Jessie finds them while it's happening, but, you know, because it's like time travel, she's like, alright, this is kind of hype, and she joins the gang. The whole group tries the machine on themselves, and they travel a full day back into the past. Now, to determine whether it is truly yesterday, they do the logical thing of going to one of their houses and drawing onto their past selves that's sleeping, and then when that past version wakes up, they both start glitching out and almost get erased from the timeline. Now, I don't think I need to tell you how stupidly complicated and dangerous of a way this was to figure out if it's the past. Find a clock, find a calendar, find a newspaper, but don't run up in your own house and basically wake yourself up. Listen, I'm not an expert in time travel. I haven't personally done it. As a black man, I know I can only go back so far, you know, anything past Rodney King, and I'm gonna have a big target on my back. But I think the cardinal rule with time travel is do not run into your past self. I think that's just a no-brainer, okay? But let's just chalk it up to kids are stupid and move on. So after this, the group make the rule that no one uses the machine alone. But after this is where the real fun of having a time machine comes in. They win the lottery. Not once, but twice, which helps with the money troubles. They also use it to get back at bullies, ace some tests, go to Lollapalooza. It's here where our main man, David, experiences one of the many canon events in life. Fumbling the 10 out of 10. We've all been there. Anyone out there who's fumbled recently, it's okay. You gotta remember, you can always live to fumble another day. Don't do what David does, okay? Instead of taking the L and moving on with life, he decides to go back in time by himself to secure his chance with Jesse. He just broke the rule. They just set the rule, and he just broke the rule. Like, what is this? Now this is a big no-no for a multitude of reasons, okay? Even though he gets back to the present and they're dating, it comes with, like, a catch. It comes with, like, 7 catches, okay? Now stay with me here, okay? So the initial blackout caused a car to crash into the school's star basketball player, okay? And because he couldn't play in the upcoming game, the player's dad didn't show up to the game and instead went to work. And he works as a commercial airline pilot. Because he went to work, he crashed the plane, because I guess he's a terrible pilot, and then basically a bunch of other terrible catastrophes are happening, alright, just from the time machine. So, David goes back, saves the player from getting hit by a car, preventing the plane crash, because he prevented him from breaking his leg, and everything's all good. But now when he returns to the present, his friend is in a coma, and he's like, what the fuck? So David goes back again, but this time Jessie catches him and she ends up in the past. And then David has to come clean about using the machine by himself and the machine to start dating her. Ooh, David, you scoundrel bastard. Before this conversation can continue though, Jessie's past self shows up and they both start glitching, and then she gone. Shit. David decides to make one final move and go back in time to prevent the machine from being created, okay? But he's out of hydrogen, okay? And that shit ain't cheap. It's also not legal. They've been stealing it from the school. So he's got to go steal some more. To make matters worse, the police are looking for him because they think he's behind Jesse's disappearance, which he technically is. So they are executing a manhunt on David. He's able to get the hydrogen. He fires up the machine just as the police reach him. That shot is hype. You can really feel that produced by Michael Bay energy right there. And he successfully travels back in time to his 7th birthday party. He confronts his dad in the basement and tells him to destroy the blueprints for the machine due to its danger. He's like, Dad, I used it for the Huzz and it did not work, okay? And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? After the blueprints are destroyed, David is erased from the timeline, but he leaves the camera behind, documenting everything. So then after this, we end up in a seemingly different timeline where David and his sister are once again looking through their dad's belongings, and they find the camera, the one that's been recording everything. So then they basically just watch the whole movie. And then the last scene of the movie is David walking up to Jesse at school. At this point, they like don't know each other. You know, they ain't close like that. And he uses his knowledge of the future to try to riz, and he tells her that they're gonna change the world. And then the movie ends. And that's Project Almanac. Now, if I was David, I would not approach the girl who I erased from the timeline. I think that's a risky move. He should just be thankful that she is even alive and just never, ever talk to her again, I think. But, teenagers, you know. Overall, this is a really fun movie. Again, I like how it shows the fun of having a time machine, you know. I like how it shows, like, the shit you would totally do if you had a time machine, but then it does show the clear downsides, and I like at the end when it just gets like your head hurts and you're like, what did and then what happened, and then what happened. Well, that's the video. Thank you so much as always for watching. If you want to keep up with everything that I'm watching, I have my letterbox linked down below, and please comment down below your thoughts on both movies. You love them, hate them, let me know, and as always, I will see you guys on the next one.